And welcome back again to Score on Business. I'm Len Van Popering with Applause Innovation with our very special guest today, Pete Hendricks, a familiar face to everyone.
Yeah.
But Pete, we've been talking about the selling process and what entrepreneurs can do to really grow their business, exponential growth. And just before the break, we started talking about the power of LinkedIn.
Yes.
And I wonder if you could elaborate on really the power of LinkedIn and maybe some differences between a B2B and a B2C approach with social media.
So with I have never been a business to consumer guy, and that's something I can't speak with any kind of expertise.
But I know you can with B2B.
Yeah, with B2B. So when you're selling to other businesses, LinkedIn is hands down the best thing. And so with LinkedIn, what I do is I connect with a lot of people, and whenever I meet somebody, I reach out to connect. Whenever I reach out to a lot of people. And as I build relationships around town, I'm able to use LinkedIn to find possible customers. So let's say that I'm interested in ABC company. With LinkedIn, I can go in and do a second level search where I can search for people that I know that are linked in to somebody who is in a decision-making capacity at a company. The search engine allows you to go to that much specificity. So once I do that, I'm able to see if I have anybody who I'm close enough with that could do a warm introduction, or either let me just reach out. That
warm introduction makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah. And so that's really, really powerful to be able to do that. Also with LinkedIn and B2B, you can use the search feature to find who you're looking for. So at Integritec, we're looking for tech leaders. And so I can go and do a search on, and tech leaders have a bunch of different names. I can go and do a search on a title of CIO in Metro Nashville, or VP of Information Services, or I won't go through all of them, but I go through those, and I'm able to identify people that I'd like to get in touch with. Well, when I do that search and it shows those people, it also shows our mutual connections, because it will always be easier to get in if I can name drop or get a warm introduction.
Right. It certainly has changed the whole world in terms of the selling process, hasn't it?
Absolutely, for B2B.
Now, one thing that you were mentioning earlier made me think of different ways of writing stories, the Tech Corner that you produce, and it really is about, would you agree, about building a reputation as a thought leader within your field?
Oh yes.
Are there ways that you can leverage, that entrepreneurs can leverage LinkedIn and other social media to help build their reputation as thought leaders?
Okay, so the basic process that I use is I know who my customers are, I know kind of the issues they deal with, so I look for articles they'll find interesting and summarize them. But when I summarize that article, I add my 2 cents into it.
Now remember, simply a pass along.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to sell. There's nothing in there about Integritec. And then in B2B, that goes out on Twitter, then it goes on LinkedIn, which gets visibility there, and then we emailed it out. Now with B2C, you can do the exact same thing, except it's going to go on Facebook. And I don't know the intricacies of Facebook marketing, but for business to consumer, I know it's very powerful. And what you're doing, if it's business to consumer, it's all about the content being something they would want to read. People do not want to get sales pitches over LinkedIn or Facebook. It's content that would be valuable for them, and then you're somehow adding to it, which is where the thought leader comes in.
And certainly the power of adding photographs, pictures, and video in some cases.
Yes.
In terms of making it all the more compelling.
Video's king.
Yeah, absolutely. Digital on demand. Well, when you have all of these customers, all of these prospects that you're trying to keep organized and make sure that you stay on top of the right level of communication, are there tips or tricks or maybe specific software that you can recommend to our viewers on how to stay on top of that?
So that software is called CRM, which just happens to be the name a lot of people have heard of Salesforce.com, and also Microsoft has a powerful CRM. I can't remember the name of it. Those are not good for small business.
Definitely geared toward more national or
Right.
global brands.
Absolutely. If to have a good Salesforce implementation, it can really do magical things for big companies that have the staff and money to get it there. As an entrepreneur, you want something that's simple, that you can do yourself, because you don't have a tech department.
Right.
And so I use Insightly, which is INSIGHTLY.
Insightly.
Insightly.com. It's not the only good one for small business, but the key is to use one for small business. So when the way that the industry works for Integritec, you need to have a lot of prospects. You need to have 60 prospects, because just the way the business is. I could never remember all of that. And so with Insightly, I'm able to have a record for each of the companies and people that I'm reaching out to, and I'm able to keep a history there. So I mentioned earlier about sending something every 7 days. Well, in Insightly, as I do each of those, I'm able to put a note so that down the road I can come back and see exactly
And
what.
remember the content.
And
of the
remember that,
conversation.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
And then also, Insightly reminds me when to do these things. It reminds me on the 7th day to do this, the 14th day to do this. Also, with what we sell, it's fairly complicated, and there may be several meetings. So I take good notes, and when I get back to the office, I put all of those notes in Insightly. And so when the deal finally comes to fruition in 3 months, I have entries with all of those notes, so I can go back and review them and make sure nothing gets missed, and make sure that I'm right on top of everything.
Yeah, and definitely helps build those relationships that are so important
Yes.
today in terms of growing a business.
Yes.
So, no matter where I've ever worked, the company doesn't have enough money to spend on sales and marketing,
Yeah.
whether it's a $100 million budget or a $500 budget. I've seen them both. But the challenge, I think, is to be really creative with
Yes.
how you invest those dollars. And for someone who's just starting out, are there one or two things, do you think, that can be done on a shoestring budget in addition to the items we've talked about today to grow their business?
Well, this is an area of expertise for you, so I'll share a little bit, but then maybe you can share
Sure,
some.
yeah.
Sending out the Tech Corner emails, or sending articles and sending it out and putting it on Facebook or putting it on LinkedIn, those are all free. I've covered what I know about that, but you know about that.
Well, I think that for the two of us, you keep looking at different ideas, and one area when you've inspired me in this whole talk about thought leadership and what you bring to the table there is trying to identify where are there speaking opportunities in the community that really don't cost anything but your time and your intellect to really go out and help showcase the talents that you have. And a lot of times a Chamber of Commerce or a professional association like American Marketing Association or SHRM, the Society for Human Resource Management, there are lots of organizations that should be tapped into and identified.
Absolutely.
So,
that's another thing I do is within our industry, I'm in the Society for Information Management. I'm in the HIMSS as Healthcare Information Management, and the Nashville Technology Council. And I forgot something that's really important.
Well, don't hold it inside any longer.
The Tech Corners, sometimes I write them. Now, it's still nothing to do with selling, but for every 3 articles I send out that somebody else wrote, I try to write one. And I think that really promotes the thought leadership.
Right.
And then when you go to put it on LinkedIn, if you're B2B, they want original content.
Yeah.
So if you want to be getting recognition within LinkedIn,
that ability to publish on LinkedIn is something that I think many entrepreneurs overlook. but the power, the more you expand your network, the more people you can connect with and share with them what you know and what you can do to help grow their business. So I think that the options that we have there are very strong. And I don't know if you've ever had any success with hosting informational breakfasts or roundtables.
Okay, hey, so
but we're going to have to leave that for another time. Thanks for sharing the hosting duties with me today. I appreciate it.
Here.
It's great to be here. Thanks, Pete.
Okay.